guys, greetings, shock horror. I'm back to do a weekly watches, what I've watched in the last week. I should at some stage also have a review for The Fall Guy coming up, which is a come with me with my husband and son. And also I have recorded another one of those 12 movies in 12 months, guys, I haven't forgotten, that I watched, which is the Vampire Journals. So I have those videos that I will put together when I get a chance. So on to what I've watched for the last week. So first of all is Arcadian. So this is Nicolas Cage's new movie. All you need to say to me is Nicolas Cage and I will watch it. I love Nicolas Cage. This follows Nicolas Cage, who is the father to two boys. He is not their actual real father. We are in a distant future. He has sort of like saved them, helped them. They're living together in this ramshackle house. And every single night these creatures come to try to get into their house to try to kill them. And every night before it gets dark they have to batten everything down, make sure everything's secure, to try and live to see another day. So kind of a little bit like a quiet place, but it only really happens at night. And there are some other people going through a similar thing, but they're up in a big posh house, someone that one of the sons knows quite well. So that's pretty much the storyline. I won't go into any more detail. It's a story of Nicolas Cage and these two boys trying to teach them everything he knows, trying to make sure that they live to see another day, that they do whatever they need to do that day, get back before darkness hits, and they're ready to defend their home. So I definitely saw in this, if you remember the movie Signs, now I'm not insinuating this movie is as good as Signs, it most certainly is not. The bit in Signs when you have them all in the house terrified and the aliens are all running about on the roof and you can hear it and it's really tense. They do try to capture that when they're inside the house. I felt a real sort of like almost copycat of Signs. It doesn't obviously grab the same tension that Signs did. There are similarities, as I say, to A Quiet Place. The creatures, when you see them, I do think you see them the right amount. You don't quite see them too much. They have a really odd design, very unique, I will say, but there is a particular thing that they do that I find absolutely hilarious, I have to say. I called it Snappy Snaps, so if you've seen it, you will know what I mean. And in this we kind of have a little love story running in the background of one of the sons who is getting to know a girl at the big posh house. They try to seek help from that house at one stage, which isn't really forthcoming. So we've got a little bit of, you know, character building and stuff as well in there. I enjoyed this, I liked it, I gave it a 3 out of 5. Nicolas Cage isn't in it anywhere enough for my liking. He is, as he always is, excellent. The acting's all fine in this. I just think it's a decent little sort of like monster movie that doesn't show you too much, that doesn't show you too little. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was amazing, but I did think it was a good little movie. I gave it 3 out of 5. Next, Infested. So this is residents of a rundown French apartment building battle against an army of deadly, rapidly reproducing spiders. And this one's perfect proof of different strokes for different folks. I loved this. I thought this was really good. I gave it the same score as I gave Arcadian. This is French and it's a movie about a group of young people living in a big apartment building. One of them keeps rare like reptiles. He gets his hands on this extremely rare spider, which is a pregnant spider, so I think you can work out what happens. This spider does escape. These spiders are rare, they're poisonous, and they are rapidly growing, so they grow to quite some size. You do need to suspend belief considerably to watch this. A lot of the effects are CGI, but I feel they actually worked quite well. I felt a real mood of Wreck, the Spanish zombie movie in this. Now I didn't think it was as good as Wreck, but the building very much reminded me of it and the attempt to escape very much reminded me of it. It will really give you the heebie-jeebies if you're an arachnophobic, if you don't like spiders. Now I am not arachnophobic, I don't mind spiders, but I do not want them crawling on me, thank you very much. I don't like when a spider disappears and scurries really quickly and you don't know where it's gone when you're going to bed at night. I hate that. I live in the country, so we get spiders. But they keep down the flies. What can you say? Good spiders. But yeah, I enjoyed this. My husband enjoyed this. Some people are loving it, some people are hating it. So for me, it was a thumbs up for Infested. I thought it was a decent little horror flick, so yeah. So next is Where the Crawdads Sing. Now, I am so late to this movie. I don't know if you managed to see what I rated this one. There you go. I was very tempted to rate this one 5. I loved this. I thought this was fabulous. I haven't read the book. So this one follows a young girl called Kaya who lives with a very abusive father, mother that's taken a lot of physical abuse, siblings, and eventually one by one her siblings all grow up to be old enough and they leave home. And eventually her mother also walks out because she just can't take any more of the beatings from her husband, leaving Kaya with this abusive man who she for a while tries to sort of like know how to stay out of his way, know how to stay on his good side. But this just follows her growing up and her eventually ending up on her own in the middle of the marshes in Carolina. But she adores the marshes and the animals and, you know, the insects and the birds, and she loves to draw them. She falls in love, she meets someone, and that unfortunately doesn't work out, but then she goes on to meet someone else that's perhaps not very good for her. So the actual synopsis does say something that happens, that she gets the blame on something that she hasn't done, and she ends up having to go to court. Apologies if this is any different, guys. I had to stop to take a phone call. So everyone in the town thinks that Kaya is weird. They call her Marsh Girl. They're very quick and willing to believe that anything that she's accused of, she's guilty of, and she has a lawyer that is tasked with trying to get the people on the jury to see the truth of the matter, and in doing that we get her entire life story. I love this. I don't, to be honest, I could give this a 5 out of 5. There was nothing wrong with this. I loved the acting. I thought Daisy Edgar Jones was just perfect. How this movie ended I did see coming, but I was so, you know, when you desperately want a movie to end a certain way, and it does. It's nothing to do with a court case, it's something entirely different. It's just a little thing which I loved. These dogs are going to get my toe up their arse. I don't know if you can hear them both barking. I absolutely loved the acting, the music, the cinematography, the story, the first relationship she has, how the movie ends. I'm gonna go kick the dog's arse. No, I do not actually kick the dog's arse. I mean, shout at them. If you haven't seen this yet, check this one out, guys. It is fabulous. I have nothing bad to say about this. It's made me want to read the book now. Okay, so I can go over the rest relatively quickly. Unfrosted is a comedy at the moment that is on Netflix. It's got Melissa McCarthy. See the cast in this? Jerry Seinfeld, Melissa McCarthy, Jim Gaffigan, I don't know who that is, Hugh Grant, Amy Schumer, Max Green, Isaac Bay, Chris Rocket. There's just so many people in this movie that come up and you're like, oh my god, it's him, it's her. This is a movie, it's very tongue-in-cheek, it's a comedy. It's about the company Kellogg's and breakfast cereal and the launch of the Pop-Tart, and about their rivalry with another leading company who are weirdly called Post. I don't know if there's any truth in that. It's really silly, it's really stupid. Some people will love this, it will just appeal to their sense of humour. This is so totally not my cup of tea, not my sense of humour. I didn't enjoy it. I did watch the whole thing. I gave it a 1.5 out of 5, guys, but I thought it was deplorable. It's one of those that is really aiming at a certain sense of humour, and it just wasn't mine. So you may watch it. Let's see if anyone else I know has seen it to give you an idea. 8 people. Okay, we had a 3.5, so that's Dino. That has appealed to him. And other people very much like me, we've got a lot of 1s and 1.5s there, so it's really going to be down to your sense of humour, guys. I didn't like it. On the 6th, I went to see The Fall Guy at the cinema. I didn't have the highest of expectations for this one. But a couple of people I know had been to see it and really enjoyed it. Now, I do have an individual review of this coming out. I will put that out with more information, but I become ever more impressed by Ryan Gosling. Having not been a fan previously, not for any specific reason, he just has never been an actor that stood out to me. I'm not a fan of The Notebook. I don't like overly slushy movies. I didn't like the movie Barbie, but I did really like him in it. I thought he was the best thing about the movie. I thought his performance at the Oscars was fantastic. He's really getting a sense of humour about himself. and I really like that. I love his character in this. He plays Colt Seavers. I am a fan of the original Fall Guy series that used to be on TV many moons ago. And if you're going to see this expecting anything like that TV show, you will be disappointed because it's completely different. But for what it is, I really enjoyed it. So did my family. We all really enjoyed this. And I will put the Come With Me review, given all three of our viewpoints on this one. But yeah, big thumbs up from me. I think I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Okay, so the idea of you. Every time I watch a romantic movie, I think, Lisa, stop it. You shouldn't be watching this. I have a cold, dead heart, obviously. Where the Crawdads Sing, completely where I'm at when it comes to love and romance. The ending, the relationship. I cried. Yes, I've got a heart in there somewhere. This sort of thing. So, I didn't want to see this, I'll be honest. I didn't know anything about it. I do like, what's her name? Anne Hathaway. I do think she's very good. I watched Ryan. I think it's Raven's fan, and I can't remember the number at the end. I will put up he done a review, and he mentioned the storyline, which I wasn't really aware of. Anne Hathaway plays a 40-year-old who gets with a 24-year-old, I think he is. And there's it says there, 40-year-old single mom Solane begins an unexpected romance with 24-year-old Hayes Campbell, the lead singer of August Moon, the hottest boy band on the planet. So, Ryan had said that there was a lot of hate towards the fact she was an older woman getting with a younger man, and that interested me. So I thought, right, as a woman with a 4 at the front of her age, I want to see this. So, Anne Hathaway's always wonderful, and it's none different in this. Her acting's very good. Everyone's acting in this is very good, but it's not for me. I did find it really interesting to see, in this situation it would happen when an older woman gets with a younger man. A lot of people feel really resentful towards the older woman, like it's a waste and why isn't he with someone his own age? And someone that looks like Anne Hathaway, if she's getting shit, guys, what chance does anyone else have? I have never dated anyone younger than myself. I think, well, a year younger, that doesn't really count. I have dated older, I think up to about 10 years older, and that's pretty much normal. Girls do date guys generally that are older or, similar age, but you rarely see a woman date a younger man. And when you watch this, you can see the shit that an older woman gets for dating a younger guy. Now, this is a 16-year age gap, which isn't massive, let's be honest. And I don't think anyone would blink an eye if it was the other way around. But I did find it really interesting when things broke on social media about their relationship, how people reacted to it. That side of things was really interesting, and her self-doubt in herself as a woman, as an attractive woman, purely because of what other, this teenage girl's comments, nastiness. There's not as nasty in life as a teenage girl, let me tell you. But that's the positive. I gave it a 2 out of 5. I don't think this is a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not for me. The guy they picked, Nicholas, what's that? Galitzine? Now, I am a woman in her 40s. In no life would most women in their 40s that we'll talk about Anne Hathaway's character, intelligent, successful, has her own business. There's no way you're going to go watch a boy band on stage and think, oh yeah, maybe if you just want to sow a few wild oats in your late age, maybe. But to actually entertain a relationship with this kind of guy, I didn't find the relationship believable. I didn't feel that her character would have been attracted to him. I don't feel he would have anything to offer her at her stage and his stage in life. To me, he looked like a child, I have to be honest. And I really struggled with what she was seeing in him. As you age, I think your taste in whatever it is that you like tends to go with you. And I just found this 40-year-old woman falling for this boy band guy that looked about 16 a bit unbelievable. I don't know, I wasn't buying it. I didn't see, they could have picked an artist, they could have picked, I don't know, they could have, later in the movie he does start to do his own music, and I would have found it more believable had he been a singer-songwriter that played his own stuff. But a boy band, doing all those naff dances, and all these teenage girls screaming. I just couldn't get on board with it, and I felt like, as Ryan actually said, I felt like when there were physical moments between them, I felt it was very over the top. There was a lot of, as I said in another review, there was a lot of, is she orgasming? Is she sneezing? I'm not quite sure. Yeah. So just proof yet again that romantic movies generally are not my bag. And finally, Vampire Journals, which I have got a separate review coming up for. It's one of my 12 movies in 12 months recommended by 12 friends. This was recommended by Leo from Geek Legion of Doom. It is a gothic vampire, suppose, love rival story. It's from 1997 and I thought it was terrible. I'll not talk any more about it than that, but you will see the review and you will see why. And this is the one with the orgasm or the sneeze, and there's lots of boobs. So, with lots of boobs being said, let's leave it at that for the week. Click done. So, other than what I've listed here, I have been watching shitloads of Love is Blind. If you don't know, Love is Blind is a dating show. I don't generally like reality TV, other than Traitors, which I loved, and Love is Blind. I'm just clicking save. The concept of this show is people are on either side of, they're both in booths. They can't see one another, but they get to know each other, and they decide at the end of getting to know one another, which is a period of days where they talk for like maybe up to 5 hours a day. One will propose to the other if they feel, you know, it's going to go somewhere. Then they spend a honeymoon together, then they go back to real life, and at the end of a 3-month period they decide if they're going to get married or not. And the psychology in it is so interesting. There was one guy, it's only happened once, I couldn't believe it, and he's like telling this girl he loves her, they're deeply in love, they've really connected on a personal note, it's nothing to do with how you look, and they both walked out, and he took one look at her, and he put it on a pretense, he gave her a hug, all the rest of it, and she said, I'm afraid you're going to run away. Why would I do that, he said, and then he ran for the hills, and we never saw him again.
I am hyperventilating. I'm hyperventilating worse than Marzi any day of the week. I can't cope with this. They're just revealing each other. And she's a bigger girl. Oh, guys, have you seen this? I can't cope with this. It's just terrible. Like,
I passed on dating great people because I prejudged or stereotyped them.
I don't know if he imagines that I'm not a slim woman, but a fat woman.
He took one look at this girl and decided, She was a bigger girl and she'd got a lot of tattoos, very feisty, but he had fallen in love with what was in here, and when he took a look at her, he decided, no, not for me, which kind of negates the purpose of the show. So I've watched all the American ones, I've now finished all the Brazilian ones, and there's one left, which is the Japanese one, which I'm going to start now, and it's coming to the UK in August, and I cannot wait. So, really, like, ridiculous TV, but I love it. I've also completed Red Dead Redemption, the game. Everyone that knows me will know Red Dead Redemption 2 is my favourite game of all time. I adore it, but I never played the first one. I recently, my son, for his birthday, got the remastered version of the first one, and I have been playing it. So I've finished that now, but I'm going about now trying to complete all the missions and 100% it. I don't know how I'll manage it, but I'll damn try as much as I can. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me, folks. Thank you so much, as always, for watching and for your patience with me being a bit sporadic with videos. There will be a few videos coming from me this week when I get the time to get them edited and out there. Over and out from Lisa Lives.